Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Alison. In this video, we're going to be discussing how eczema can be helped by natural oils. We're going to specifically look at neem oil. Before we get started, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification so you know when the next video is coming out. And also, if you look below, you'll see 3 free guides: eczema more than skin deep, adult acne more than skin deep, and dry skin more than skin deep. They will help you, so make sure you download. Now, I would say that neem oil has probably been a Smith family staple for about 4 years. It's always in the bathroom cabinet. We first came across this because I was advised to use it by a family friend. We were on holiday. My son had a reaction to a pancake which had milk in there, and as usual, he got eczema at all his joints, elbows, knees, ankles, and the back of his neck. Now, the previous year, the same thing had happened on another family holiday. He'd eaten something with milk in there. I'd used the prescribed steroid cream and also a dry skin cream. And for some reason, he had an allergic reaction to something he'd been using for years. He screamed that his skin was on fire. I had to shower him down in cold water, give him an antihistamine, give him painkillers, and put him straight to bed. He was in absolute agony. And then the same thing happened 3 days later after we'd returned back to England. Visited the doctor and they'd given me another cream. It was then we found out he was reacting to preservatives, which was the reason I then switched to using only natural products and only products at the time with no water in them and oils only, which is why I started using my own body butter. Now, whereas before I panicked and used a steroid cream, on this particular occasion I was given the neem oil diluted with olive oil. I'd already been using the Tigs body butter, so I combined the two and put it on all the actual areas where his eczema was at its worst. Where there was a sprinkling of eczema on his torso, I didn't bother putting it there because I had a real fear of using anything new on his skin. As an eczema sufferer, you'll know it's like you're so scared of using anything new. That was very, very dubious, so I had to take a massive leap of faith. I tried it on my own skin first, waited a few hours to see what happened, nothing happened. I then used it on my son. I'm always the guinea pig. Now, it's safe to say that the neem oil works so well, I was in complete shock. I needed to know more about this. So it works so quickly without using any steroid cream. But I had panicked and used the antihistamine medicine, the pediatric medicine. However, because I knew what my son's triggers were, his diet was completely clean of any triggers whatsoever. Because I hadn't panicked and used the steroid cream, just used the antihistamine and the neem oil, I would say the itch had gone away within hours, whereas in the previous year where we had used the antihistamine and steroid cream, the itch was there most of the night. It had just calmed the itch down, but this time there was no itch whatsoever. So I knew I was onto a winner chicken dinner. After 4 days of using the neem oil, the eczema had flattened and the redness had completely gone, and the eczema had returned to his own skin color, which was light brown. And then I'd say within 2 weeks of using the neem oil and the Tigs body butter, his eczema was completely gone. Now, I, being myself, wanted to know why the eczema had gone so well, so quickly, because I was using the Tigs body butter to help the dry skin and keeping his eczema moisturized, because I know the ingredients in there are anti-inflammatory. But this neem oil was a whole other thing. It seems to eradicate the itch. It seemed to flatten the eczema quite quickly, and it also, like I said, got rid of the eczema within a couple of weeks, whereas the steroid creams never worked that fast. Now, it was during my investigations, as being a nosy mother wanted to know why this works so well for my son, that I learned that neem oil has 3 compounds in there. They are nimbin, nimbin, and quercetin. Now, I've got them on a piece of paper below because there's no way I'm going to remember all those names because they're so similar. These actual compounds have an antiseptic, antifungal, and antihistamine properties, which explains a lot why this particular oil worked. Also, having done more research, it's also a very potent mixture. It's got other stuff in there, but those particular 3 ingredients are really, really important. Now, as well as being used to soothe inflamed eczema, it can be used as an insect repellent. So I have added it to my natural body butters as well. And I do know, having done some research, that it's been approved in the USA as an actual organic insect repellent for crops. That's how good this stuff is. It's safe to say that it does have a very potent and, I would say, specific smell to it. Now, some people have likened the smell to peanuts mixed with garlic. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know if it smells like garlic. I just know it's got a very, very individual smell. It's very unique, very specific. So you either love it or hate it, pretty much like Marmite, which I can't stand. The smell itself doesn't bother my children at all. My daughter's using it for her acne as well. My son uses it always for his eczema. I found the smell quite strong, but because of the benefits, I was willing to forego the smell. Now, because I mix it with my own body butter, the Tigs body butter, I found that when I mix it with the naked body butter, which has no essential oils added to it, you can still smell the neem oil. But when I add it to a body butter that's got essential oils in there, like the vanilla and orange, it pretty much cuts the smell out. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that you should always dilute. If I didn't say, I apologize. Dilute the neem oil with another oil or butter. So you can dilute it with olive oil, you can dilute it with coconut oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil. So because I was using my own natural body butter, it was being diluted with a mixture of oils. Being diluted with coconut oil, avocado oil, shea butter, cocoa butter and olive oil. So I'm mixing with all those other oils which are also anti-inflammatory, which is why it explains why the actual neem oil combined with the Tigs body butter works so well on my son's eczema. Now, I previously mentioned that neem oil, as well as the other butters, some of them are antifungal, antibacterial and antihistamine, but neem oil's got a really potent mixture of compounds which makes it all of those. It's also anti-inflammatory, it's also antioxidant. But just like the Tigs body butter, neem oil is also massively moisturizing. However, because of that potent smell and how well it works, you should always dilute it. Now, having done the research, I have found that neem trees are predominantly in India, and I believe it's North India, but also in Africa, the Caribbean, and also in America, which explains why my family friend knew of neem oil. I had never heard of it, but it's from the Caribbean. He's from the Caribbean. And like I said, since I've used that oil, I have never looked back. Now, because neem does have such a strong smell to it, it can be off-putting to some people, which is why I say make sure you dilute it. And if you don't have an issue with essential oils, dilute it with a carrier oil first, like the jojoba oil, avocado oil, hemp seed oil, coconut, shea. Make sure you mix it with one of those first and then put a few drops of essential oils in there if you don't have an issue with essential oils. It gets its very strong smell from the actual plant, the actual oils that they extract from the plant on the actual tree itself. Now, one thing that I was really impressed with, and I don't know why it works so well, is a lot of eczema sufferers, when they decide to stop using topical steroids, they get something called TSW, or topical steroid withdrawals. It's where the skin has to repair and recover as a result of using steroids for so long. Now, my son had been using steroid creams from the age of 2 to about the age of 7, so 5 years. Didn't like using it on him because I mentioned on previous videos, my mum had been using steroid creams all of her adult life and probably young adult life as well. And you could see the effects it had on the skin. It made the skin thinner, it made it lumpy as well, and it caused a lot of damage to the skin. It's long-term use of steroids. I've watched YouTube videos of people suffering like crazy when they go through topical steroid withdrawals, but my son didn't have any of these. I did some research on neem and found that it had so much other benefits to the skin. It was absolutely amazing. Now, here are some of the reasons that I've been completely blown away by neem oil. First of all, it's been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years because of its medicinal properties, and it's actually known as Arista or Arsita. I always get this wrong. A-R-S, so Arsista. Okay, and that actually means perfect, complete, and imperishable. And it also means reliever of sickness. So what does that tell you? I've seen with my own eyes the actual anti-inflammatory effects and anti-irritation and soothing properties of neem oil. And my son actually knows to ask for neem oil as soon as he starts to itch. So if he feels itchy at all, he says, "Mum, get the neem oil out." It's that simple. I'll mix it with my body butter. And by the end, but within an hour or so, the itch is gone. It's that simple. I don't even need to give any antihistamine at all. It's also worth noting that neem oil, again when diluted, can be used on both acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. So as soon as you get the actual rash, use it straight away, or you can use it over a period of a couple of weeks. Now, we've only used it for 2 weeks max, and I have done some research which says to only use it for 2 weeks. Not sure why that is, because it's never given us any issues at all. We've never reacted to it, but like we said before, everybody is unique. Now, it's also worth noting that, as you know, there are different types of eczema. Now, I mainly suffer from atopic dermatitis, which is eczema, or also contact dermatitis, and I've used the neem oil on that, but again diluted with my Tigs and my body butter. So the contact dermatitis is when something has touched your skin and triggered off your eczema. The atopic is when you've got like a reaction, as in because you've got triggers like the milk, for example, or a skincare product. But also seborrheic eczema, which is like the dandruff you get in your scalp or baby's cradle cap. I've also mixed neem oil with Tigs and body butter, massaged it into my son's scalp, or even use it at the front of my own scalp where I get the itch from eczema sometimes. And also it's really good if you put it onto your hands at night, mix it with mix the neem oil with body butter, put on some cotton or bamboo gloves, because if you get hand dermatitis, for example, if you're a hairdresser, the chemicals you're using day to day can trigger off your eczema on your hands. I've also used it on my hands when I've had like a sore knuckles and wrists caused by something, again, that I've used. For example, I may have used a cleaning product which wasn't a green cleaning product, or cleaned something in the house without wearing my rubber gloves. I can't tell you what it's like for other types of other types of eczema, because they're the 4 that I've used it specifically for. What I can tell you is, during my research looking at neem oil and its benefits and what it could help, there was an investigation or research done by a company called Dermatology Times, and it advised of neem's success when treating 2 other types of eczema. One of these was nummular eczema, and in fact the second one wasn't eczema, the second one was psoriasis. So nummular eczema and psoriasis, and it worked really well, they said, on children. And again, they would have diluted it, but I don't know what they diluted it with, because they weren't specific. Now, nummular eczema, some of you already know, is like coin-shaped dots on the skin, and they are itchy and scaly. So if you can imagine, if neem could help you get rid of that scaliness and the itchiness, it's a fantastic benefit, isn't it? Now, whilst I was experimenting at home, a blend that I did try was mixing different powders and oils together. And I tried it on my face, on some individual like acne, that I've got one here which is going down. I tried it a little bit on my face on here when I had a heat rash caused by training at the gym last week, teaching an indoor cycling class, and my skin got really, really hot despite dabbing it. I also used it on my underarm because I got eczema that was caused by antibiotics, and even it kept coming and going. I've had it now for about 2 months, so I'm trying this blend. And all that blend consists of is 1 teaspoon of neem oil, 1 teaspoon of leveled teaspoon of moringa powder, a leveled teaspoon of turmeric powder, and a teaspoon of local honey. Now, I'm saying a teaspoon of each because you don't need a lot at all. You can blend it. If it's too sticky and you need a little bit of water in there, that's fine as well. Just combine it in a bowl. So that's teaspoon of neem oil, teaspoon of moringa powder, teaspoon of turmeric, and a teaspoon of locally produced honey. Very important, because all of those have anti-inflammatory properties, antibacterial properties. So the turmeric is anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. The neem and moringa are anti-inflammatory, and neem and honey is antiseptic. So you're adding all these things together that have anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, and antibacterial properties. And I actually put it on my underarm for about 15 minutes, just sat there watching TV. It did feel a bit sticky, but at the end of the day, if it's going to calm my eczema down quite quickly, I'm happy to go with that. So there you go, another natural product, a homemade product with things you probably already have in the kitchen if you've been watching any of my videos. I also made sure all of those, except for the honey, were organic. So organic turmeric, organic neem, and organic moringa powder. That leaves me just to say, hope you enjoyed the video. And remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notification, and I will see you on the next video.